15 years ago, I went to Blackpool to make a film for the BBC about an extraordinary family.
Stop hitting!
At the time, Jackie Jackson had 7 children, 5 of whom had a form of autism.
Smile, Ben Jackson, can you smile?
I wanted to go back to find out what happens to autistic children when they become adults. This film tells the story of 3 of them, Ben, Joe and Luke.
I have a form of autism called Asperger's syndrome, or AS, and I'm lucky to be quite high functioning.
When we did the documentary before, the education system seems like hell, and Luke tried to kill himself, took an overdose because he didn't want to go back to school. And that was when he was just turned 14 and ended up very, very ill. He was in intensive care in Manchester for quite some time, left with liver damage. And just never been to school since.
I put all my lamps on this evening because, well, I've had a really bad day and sort of like helped me relax. I've got like all these shapes and images in my mind and they just like distort and merge together.
A lot has changed since then. I can't help standing out, you know, as different, and that was always something that, you know, that singled me out from everyone and made me an easy target. But now I'm working as a photographer because of the way I see the world and, you know, the way I do things, then people notice my work.
Hang on, wait, bring that out a bit so it's like that. So.
My sisters are always trying to improve my chances with girls. I have never asked anyone out in my entire life, although I have wanted to.
So you were thinking to yourself, I look ugly today, yeah? You looked in the mirror and thought, I look ugly today. And then you wanted reassuring, so you said to somebody, do I look ugly today? You expect them to say no, wouldn't you?
Well, why would you want reassuring? Because if you look ugly, then you know you look ugly.
I still have problems with girls, but just not in the same way. It's like since the last documentary, I've now got a 5-year-old child who is my world. You know, she is just absolutely incredible. I see so much of myself in her, but I see so much of the person she's becoming. The thing I get nowadays all the time is people going, oh, I wouldn't know that you've got Asperger's. And I've got very, very good at keeping up an emulator. It's almost like pretending to be normal for a little while, but it takes conscious effort and it takes a lot of work to do that. I've really worked at eye contact, like I have really good eye contact in general, but as soon as conversation goes from the banal into something a little bit more personal, then my eye contact just goes and I just can't maintain it. Yeah, and it's a struggle, but I have a massively supportive family unit around, so that really helps.
Ben was in a special school for profound multiple learning difficulties. When you did the documentary, we were getting odd bits of words, but they tended to be repetitive. And he did all his spinning and stuff. He didn't get out of nappies at all till he was 10. But then he just learnt to read really fast, as in overnight, which of course caused a problem because now he was in a school for profound and multiple learning difficulties with kids that couldn't walk, talk or whatever, and all of a sudden not only could he walk and talk when he was diagnosed as never being able to, then he could walk, talk and read.
Ben is doing his baccalaureate at the moment. He's just got a A-star GCSE for business studies. He did his sciences a year early. I think he's doing 11 GCSEs now, and he's incredibly clever, but also has one of the most finely tuned business minds of anybody that I've ever seen. Ben notices sort of the way market trends and that kind of thing work. He sees the world in a different way to other people, and he's more analytical, but can pick out things that people don't notice.
Theoretically, I have a mind sort of designed for business in a way, like it's just mathematics and such, and accounting and budgeting and that sort of thing I'm able to manage quite easily. Can't say I'm that great on a marketing aspect of it, but I have a clear understanding of it, just not really how to put it forward to people, so to speak.
You're only 16, you can still chance.
Well, yeah, obviously, but hey, I might as well think ahead.
Me and Ben together are just, yeah, we definitely get on. You know, Ben's my brother, but he's without a doubt my best friend. He's coming into his own. He's quick now, and he's comfortable with being different as well.
Yeah, different is cool, so to speak, but it doesn't necessarily get you any form of respect for being weird, that's for sure. Like, I do find normal boring, it bugs me, to be honest. It's like, everyone has something about them that's different.
If his friends, he has 3 friends really.
Not really, I have a lot more, I just don't talk about them as much.
Okay. But if one of them has come round to the house, he doesn't wear, I know he's in school uniform at the moment, but still doesn't wear clothes at home.
No, I do want to come round to the house. I mean, I mean, when someone like Kobe or Callum comes around, that is when I just wear my dressing gown. I admit that,
Oh,
but...
okay, I didn't say you were walking around stark naked. I said you don't wear clothes.
You sort of accept me in a way I am with my autism. I don't necessarily see it as a flaw, I see it as a bit of a gift and a curse, to be honest. And I know I'm always going to have it, so I might as well make fun of it and be aware of my own problems. You know, if I can get a bit of humour out of it, and what's the harm?
This is Joe's room.
That's my piggy necklace that I've been looking everywhere for. Why on earth does he have to do that?
Joe's 9 now, and he's got ADHD, but he's really nice when you get to know him.
Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder was one of the many aspects of autism that Joe had to deal with. I learned how Joe's difficulties had continued into adulthood, with devastating consequences.
The last school that he went to, he got in with a really bad crowd and started bunking off school and smoking cannabis, which led on to stealing. He ended up with the youth offending team when he was 15, 16, and then at the age of, would have been 18, went on to probation.
Joe was always easily led, and people picked up on that, not just in the way, you know, not just go and do this, but, you know, he got used. It was places to crash, you know, money, anything, like people, it just got used. And I think the worst thing was that these people he really thought were his friends. So he'd defend them till the cows come out. It was a dark time. Everyone needs to be given room to change, so, you know, it looks like he has. He's working demolishing houses, and I'm quite sure he's living the dream. So, yeah, he's pretty much for a person that just broke all our stuff when he was younger. It seems fairly fitting that he's breaking stuff.
It's not really just about the Jacksons though, is it? Just because there's a lot of us. The most important thing is to remember that it doesn't stop. Autistic children end up being autistic adults, and many times, you know, I really do have to dig deep to find the funny side of some things, you know.